Today we are going to review Out of Ashes, the debut album by Dead by Sunrise. This album was released on October 13th, 2009 via Warner Brothers. This album clocks in at 43 minutes and 43 seconds, and this album was Chester Bennington's side project. Now, the first time I heard Dead by Sunrise was back in August of 2009 when they released the first single off of Out of Ashes entitled Crawl Back In. And on release day, October 13th, 2009, I was at my grandparents' house spending time with my cousins and grandparents during fall break. And it was 3 a.m. and I listened to my local rock radio station, which premieres a weekday radio segment called the 3 O'Clock Sideshow. And on the morning of October 13th, 2009, I heard Out of Ashes and I was blown away. So, let's get to the songs. So, the album starts off with Fire, which was the third single off of this album. And this song, as a single, was released in early 2010. A few months after Let Down was released. And Fire is a good song to start off Out of Ashes the right way. I love Chester Bennington's melodic, clean vocals. They're amazing. And I love the guitar work on this track as well. Then we get to Crawl Back In, which is the second song off the album. However, this song was the first single from Out of Ashes. I heard this song when it was first aired on the radio in August of 2009, and I fell in love with it. And I still enjoy this song till this day. The next song is entitled Too Late, which is one of my personal favorite tracks off of Out of Ashes. I wish that this song was a radio single. As a matter of fact, all the songs are amazing to the point where they should have been radio singles, but you know how radio stations are and the record companies, they have to pick certain songs to be radio singles. What can you do? However, Too Late is an amazing song, especially the chorus and the verses of the song. Inside of Me is the next track. It has that grungy vibe to it. It's very fast. And I just enjoy the choruses and the verses of the song. And it's a fast track as well. It's very short and it gets to the point. Now, the next song, entitled Let Down, is the second single from Out of Ashes. This song was released in November of 2009. And when I heard the song for the first time on the morning of October 13th, 2009, I was blown away to the point where the choruses of this song ended up getting stuck in my head for the rest of the week I was at my grandparents' house. And to this day, I still enjoy Let Down. Now we get to a slower song entitled Give Me Your Name. It's very slow, very chill. I enjoy the guitar leads on the song, and I enjoy the acoustic guitar moments of this track. And Chester Bennington's soft vocals make this song even more amazing as well. Now, here's an interesting thing about the next song I'll be talking about. The next song we'll be talking about is My Suffering. Now, go listen to Stay Away by Nirvana and come back and listen to this song. If you haven't noticed, the melody, the guitar riffs sound the exact same. However, the song structures are different as verses and choruses are concerned. However, the intro to each song is different, of course, but the riffs during the beginning of the song, as guitar is concerned, sounds exact same. So go listen to Stay Away by Nirvana, come back and listen to My Suffering by Dead by Sunrise, and you'll know what I mean. And who knows, maybe Chester Bennington got a huge Kurt Cobain influence to write this particular song with Dead by Sunrise. But this song is very, very heavy as hard rock is concerned. The next song we get to is Condemned. It's one of my personal favorite songs off the album. It's very chill. Well, not chill, but it's heavy. And Chester Bennington has that harsh scream on the song when he screams condemn. And this is a perfect song to work out to. Then we get to Into You, which is more of a chill song. This is what I probably meant, since I said that Condemned was a chill song. But I was wrong about that. Into You is more chill than Condemned, since Condemned is more of a grungy and aggressive song. But this song is more kickback and chill. I enjoy the verses and choruses of Into You, and I love the dark, sinister sounding choruses of the song. Every time I listen to the song, I get the chills, and I still do to this day. The next song we get to is End of the World, and I enjoyed the piano melodies on the song and the synth effects on the song at the beginning of the track. This whole album is apocalypse based, so when you listen to it, it will remind you of an apocalypse. I don't know why, but it's a very sinister and dark sounding hard rock album as Out of Ashes is concerned. But overall, End of the World is a good track. And at the end, there's a bit of this Morse code radio frequency sound. I doubt it's Morse code sounds, but has this radio frequency high pitch sound, which is very weird. Then we get to Walking in Circles, which is a very, very slow song. This is one of my favorite songs off of Out of Ashes. All the songs on this album are my favorite, but if I had to pick one, Walking in Circles is the biggest highlight of this album. It's very slow. I like it a lot. It's very chill, calm, and I like the clean guitar tone when you hear it at the beginning and during the instrumental parts of the song after the chorus ends. Then we get to the final song, which is called In the Darkness. It starts out with acoustic guitar, and in the background you hear this interesting beat, and the beat reminds me of Linkin Park or Fort Minor for some reason. But except there's no Mike Shinoda, just Chester Bennington, because it's Dead by Sunrise. But that's what the instrumental beat reminds me of in the background. But overall, this song is amazing. I love it. Have no issues with In the Darkness. It's a fantastic song. I highly recommend you check it out. And since I do not have a CD copy of the deluxe edition, since the deluxe edition is on iTunes, note that the iTunes version is still called Out of Ashes. However, there's one big catch. There's a bonus track, an iTunes bonus track. And luckily, I heard it on the 3 o'clock sideshow on my local rock radio station back on September 13th, 2009, while I was at my grandparents' house. And that song is called The Morning After. And this song should have been a radio single following Fire. I wish that the record companies and rock radio stations all across the country and the world would allow Dead by Sunrise to release The Morning After as a rock radio single, because this song is very simplistic, it's very catchy, rock radio friendly, and it still holds up to this day. And it's one of the best rock songs off of Out of Ashes. So, if I have to give Dead by Sunrise Out of Ashes a rating, it gets a 10 out of 10. I have no issues with this album. All the songs are fantastic, like I said. Each song on this album could be radio singles, but it's impossible because rock radio stations and record companies only pick a few songs from an album to be radio singles. But what can you do? At least you can listen to this whole album over and over and over again, which I do from time to time. But this album gets a 10 out of 10. Even though Chester Bennington's no longer with us, this album will always remind me of him, especially all the 7 studio Linkin Park albums that he provided vocals on. So, Out of Ashes by Dead by Sunrise gets a 10 out of 10. This album is not a disappointment. It's a perfect album to kick back to. It is the perfect album to listen to during the fall. And post in the comments below and let me know if you ever heard of Dead by Sunrise, and let me know what do you think of Out of Ashes if you heard this album. Sadly, this is the only album that Chester Bennington was a part of, but what can he do? At least he left a good legacy behind, which was Linkin Park and Dead by Sunrise, of course. But this album never gets old. If I get tired of it, I'll stop listening to it for a while. But then if I want Dead by Sunrise, then I'll come back to this album and listen to it. So 10 out of 10 for Dead by Sunrise, Out of Ashes. Thank you guys for releasing an album of 2009. This album will always be a classic album to remember Chester Bennington in a good way. And this album will be an album to celebrate the legacy of his music that he left behind for all of us hard rock fans. So 10 out of 10 for Out of Ashes by Dead by Sunrise. I'll post a link to Spotify so you can listen to it. You can stream it. And just post in the comments below and let me know what you thought of this album. And catch you guys later for a future album track review. Take care.